Next up, Carlton. What I expect from Carlton is that this time they will be in the 8. I put them just about making 8 over Richmond.
Was I wrong? Was I wrong? Yeah.
Maybe harsh on both teams. A lot of people have Carlton and Richmond quite high up, especially Carlton. And I'm thinking, have I slipped up here? But I'm standing by them, all right? I made that video.
Oh, I thought that was my mouse. Oh, it is. Okay. Anyway, people were angry at me for putting Richmond below expectations. But I also put Carlton below expectations. But no one called me out on that. This is why I'm telling you, right? These people that are angry at me are closet Richmond fans. Like, it can't... they have to be Richmond fans because there's no way they were that angry over absolute nonsense. I literally had Richmond battling for a finals place. And I had similar, like, both Richmond and Carlton I predicted lower than what people expected of them. Like, it's like, apparently I like Carlton and hate Richmond. It's just like, it's tedious. That's what it is, it's tedious.
I'll be somewhere in the 8. I don't expect them to be anywhere near the grand final, but you never know. If things go really well for them, they could find themselves in a prelim, but no further than that. But I expect...
Aye! Something that's not Collingwood first. I finally got something that I can brag about that's not Collingwood first, because Collingwood first is seemed pretty obvious, to be honest. But this...
Okay, they will be in the 8, pipping Richmond to the 8th place.
Wind it up, wind it up, wind it up.
But yeah, they'll be somewhere in the 8. I don't expect them to be anywhere near the grand final, but you never know. If things go really well for them, they could find themselves in a prelim.
Boom! I've won at life. I've won. Nah, I'm done. I have won the predictions. I was gonna scream, but it's 11 p.m. in London, so I am not doing that. But yes. Carlton in a prelim. I don't care what you say. I called Carlton a prelim, alright? You have no idea how gassed I am over that, alright? Let me have this. Let me have this!
But no further than that. Collingwood! What I expect from them is the minor premiership.
2 in a row.
Like, for most of the game, they were pretty equal and they managed to get the edge. You didn't say that in exact words, but, like, you guys did remind me of that. And yeah, that is true, but... for it to happen so often, I don't see it as luck. I think they did.
I've said this so many times already, but for them to win so many close games so often, it's more than just luck. And I was correct, so we'll leave it at that. And I was referencing their win streak in 2022 as well, on top of that. So, again, has to be said.
Remember, last year, finals week 1, they were close to beating Geelong. Geelong won it, and they obviously won the whole thing, but that game could have swung as well. That game could...
Who knows what could happen last year.
We've seen some people put them like 8th or 7th. I was a bit surprised by that, but I expect a lot from them, but I don't expect them to win the flag. I think I put them in the prelim in my prediction, I can't remember. But yeah, I think they will get first, but not win the flag. Essendon!
Wrong.
What I expect from them is not much. They'll not be doing much this season. I don't think they'll be getting the spoon, but they'll be nowhere near the 8. It feels harsh. I don't know. I put them I think I put them 17th.
In my defense, in the second half of the season, they were very bad. Let's point that out for a second. They played like a team that should have been 17th for half of the season. But obviously the first half of the season made this look stupid, so it's definitely not a W.
Never seen it. I haven't seen Essendon fans say anything against it yet, so maybe there was some truth to what I said, but...
I would argue that Essendon 17th is a worse prediction than Richmond 9th and Giants 18th. In the context of March 2023, I believe so. But no one was angry about it. Maybe because they're all Richmond fans, because they're the only ones that complain. See, Richmond fans are easy to anger. I've noticed that quite a lot. Sometimes I play onto it as well. You see it in this video, actually. I said something at Richmond in this video just to trigger them, and it worked so well. It worked so well that I brought out the Closet Richmond fans as well, and they were just like, you know who you are. We have Closet Richmond fans who are not Richmond fans, but secretly they are.
The Fremantle Dockers.
Here we go. Here's the worst one coming up.
From them, I expect top 4 and at least one finals game victory. So yeah, top 4 prelim. Fremantle Dockers will play a prelim. I should have just said that.
Putting him third is one thing because people had them high up as well, not just me. But Fremantle in a prelim. Fremantle in a prelim. Fremantle in a prelim. I thought it was 2014 or something. Fremantle in a prelim. It's actually quite mad to think about. They were in the grand final and the prelim final like a couple of years. They just ran into a three-peating Hawthorn. But Fremantle in a prelim. Where did I get that confidence from? They've only done that twice in their history. Yes, they've not been around a while. I was born in 1995, so like they've been around a little bit longer than I have. So like the fact that I put them in a prelim is pretty bad. I was fooled by last season. Well, the Bulldogs game mainly.
They will not make the grand final, but they will play a prelim, and that's a big step for them.
But look, listen. I called Carlton in a prelim. I don't care about the context, alright? Well, that is the narrative. Carlton in a prelim. I may have just suggested it, but I'm going to claim that I called it, okay? No matter what you say, that will be the story. History is written by the victors.
For the next few years. I like them,
and I am the victor here.
And
apart from this.
Ever since I started, my first season watching was 2017. And for some reason, like, I remember there was a game they played against the Bulldogs. Bulldogs were the premiers at the time. They played the Bulldogs in, I think, like round 6 or 7. And they won that game. And I was impressed by them that game. So from that game onwards, I was paying attention to them a bit more. And I quite like them. I'm just like, I like.
Also a bit of bias there. Gotta remember, like, after the team I support, Hawthorn, my favourite teams are Brisbane, Freo, Melbourne and Adelaide. And for a while it was Freo that were top of that list after Hawthorn. They were top of that list for a little while. So that's me pointed out as well. It was Adelaide Crows at one point. Then it was Freo for a few years. Then it was the Lions the last couple of years. But I did like Freo quite a lot. So maybe that clouded my judgment a little bit because I wanted them to do well. But yeah, I'm just trying to justify why I put them in a prelim.
Geelong! I expect them to not win the flag this time, but still have a strong season. I think they have a strong regular season, which
they didn't. But they didn't win the flag, so half right.
They'll be a lot more confident now going to finals games, and they'll play a lot better as well. So yeah, whoever they play, good luck. But I don't think they'll win the flag. I think they'll go out. They'll be eliminated in a close one against whoever. The Gold Coast Suns. Some people expect them to win, to get in the 8. Others expect them to be close to the 8. I put them quite low down. I've not really seen anyone agree with me either. Everyone's had them doing fairly well. Maybe it's because I don't like them, which I don't. So maybe there's a bit of a bias there, but I can't see it. I can see the Suns getting big wins. I mean, since the years I've been watching, I've seen them beat Sydney at the SCG twice. So it's not like they can't win a big game. They can do it. It's just that I can't see it. I can't see them in the 8s. I can't picture that. I look at the Suns and I think I can't do it. They're not going to challenge for the 8. I don't see it. So what I expect from them is to be in no man's land and not to be challenging for the 8. But if I'm wrong, look, I hold my hands up, okay? This is now Gold Coast fans.
Hands are down.
Fans that I could be apologising to at the end of the season. Maybe even Richmond.
I don't think I'd said anything wrong there with Gold Coast. I think that was flawless. That was the only flawless one so far, I think. Because everything else said at least one little thing wrong, if I got it right. But that Gold Coast one, correct observation, correct explanation, everything was perfect. So here we go from the Giants. So this will be incredibly wrong in contrast. Bro, I've been recording this an hour, and this is not including the one where I reviewed the season. It's a lot of editing, my friend. I'm probably going to have to edit it another day because I want to stream it a bit.
They will be below Hawthorn. Okay, I can't speak properly now. They will be below us. We will not be below them. Okay? I might have to apologise to them as well at the end of the season, but I am convinced they'll be below Hawthorn at least.
I just showed you the predictions of people's ladders, right? Until they all apologise too, I'm not apologising. Because I was going, like, I just predicted with most of the people that predicted this season. Like, everyone had them in, not everyone, but like most people had. I didn't see one prediction with them in the 8. So, I'm not apologising. Shut up, it's not happening.
Yes, Hawthorn. I expect no man's land. Yes. Not near the spoon, not in the 8s. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to take it. Yes, we were bottom 3, but we were not near the spoon. We were not as bad as the other 2 below us. So, and we're not in the 8 either. So, maybe not spot on, but I'll take it. I think that's pretty good.
13th maybe is a bit too nice, but I'm going to stick
We won't
with
last
it,
though.
right? We'll be in no man's land. We will not be doing much, but we'll get more wins than people think we will. That's what I should have said, actually. We will get more wins than what is expected of us. Okay, it's happening. Melbourne! I expect them to be a lot stronger this year than last year. Maybe not as incredible as 2021.
Definitely not as incredible.
They've got some new additions, some good additions. They'll be very strong as long as they're not marred by injury, as long as they're more consistent. They will be a serious Premiership contender again. They are not finished. Last year they were just...
What's that line at the bottom of the screen?
This year they'll be back.
What's going on there?
Again?
Is that part of the video?
Just like Geelong, I don't expect them to win the flag, and I expect them to lose, get eliminated in a close one. But I think they will be just outside the top 4, literally just missing out by like a point or 2. And
They might as well have been. They went out in straight
knocked
sets.
out in the finals at some point, but they won't like go
They were
on
knocked out, yes.
straight losses this time round. I mean, they can't.
They did go on straight losses actually, so not quite the spot on I would have wanted.
You lose once you're out outside the top 4, but I think they'll at least win a final. North Melbourne, I expect improvement, good improvement. They will be better than the atrocity that they were last year. They will be more improved than the West Coast Eagles are, and I expect some.
There's some things right about that, but they weren't really much better than last year. Although they did look more like a threat in some games compared to last year. So maybe they were better overall. But still, early 3 wins has to be pointed out. But more promising than last year, shall we say. Meanwhile, West Coast looked a lot worse.
Good things. I don't expect insane progress. I mean, I don't think anyone does, to be honest, not even North fans. But better than the third of the table. I think they'll be pretty damn good in some games. Not expecting anything above like 15th, but I think they'll do fairly well for this, based on their previous season standard. Port Adelaide, I expect them to be in the 8. Just don't hit me. Don't hit me. All right, it's a risk. It's a risk, but it's a risk.
I thought it was a risk. They went like 12 games, 12 wins in a row.
It's ironic as well. I like the Crows more than them. So like, I should be more biased towards the Crows, but actually,
that is true.
I got a feeling about Port. I don't even dislike Port anyway. I don't mind them. They're a good club. It's just...
It's the same thing with me in West Coast and Freo. Like I prefer Freo, but because I don't support either team, I don't have an issue with West Coast either. So it's the same thing with Port and Adelaide. Obviously, the two hate each other, just like West Coast and Freo do. But I prefer one, and the other one I don't have an issue with. So it's just one of those things.
I put them 7th in my prediction. I'm going to stick by it, all right? They'll just make the 8.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it